So how you doing, guys, and welcome. It is Kraken here and we're back in 7 Days to Die. How you doing? Welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Lucky Looter. Is Lucky Looter really worth it? That's what we want to know. We're going to test a few experiments, open a few chests and see if Lucky Looter is really as good as it makes out it can be. So let's get cracking. Right then, here we go. So this is the experiment we're going to conduct. At the moment, I am loot stage number 5. So if you go into here, come down to your stats at the bottom, loot stage number 5. And that's because we're level number 2, which has added 1 to our loot stage. And because this area here is inside a town. So this counts as loot stage number 5 because that gives you a bonus as well. We'll go through all of that in a minute for you, but the experiment first, what we're going to do is we're going to go through all these reinforced chests which I've opened up without any points into Lucky Looter, and then we're going to go down the other side, put all the gubbins into the boxes at the end and see what we get once we put a point into Lucky Looter. Right, let's get to the looting. Right then, that's all the ones without Lucky Looter. Now we're going to put a single point, because I've only got 1 point, into Lucky Looter. That gives us a slim chance. So it says here adds 5% to the loot bonus, and we can loot a little bit faster. So if we go back now into my stats, we've still got loot stage here as 5, but we've got a point into Lucky Looter. Let's see what we get this time round. Right then, let's compare these results. So one with Lucky Looter, one without Lucky Looter. So on the left hand side, which was without Lucky Looter, we actually got 7 more 7.62 and a hell of a lot more 9mm than we did without Lucky Looter. So better bone knife, we got a better pipe baton as well. Got slightly less when it came to the shotgun shells, though we did get a bicycle handlebar with Lucky Looter, and we got more medical supplies, but we did get a treasure map, and we actually got a steel pickaxe, which is very good for this part of the game. These are reinforced chests, so these you probably would not get in level 1 POIs. These will be when you start getting to tier 2 and tier 3 POIs where you start seeing these types of chests. But quite interesting there, that extra point in Lucky Looter hasn't done much at all. The armor's slightly better and the medical supplies are slightly better. But apart from that, we might have been better off without Lucky Looter. Let's go on to the next test. Right then, everything is set back up. Now we're going to do the same experiment again, but this time I have a loot stage of 50, so we should be getting much better stuff. So we're going to go through the first lot of this with no Lucky Looter, and I've taken my points back out of Lucky Looter, so back down to 0. But this time when we go through the second lot of chests, we're going to have 2 points into Lucky Looter. Let's see how we get on. Right then, so here's all of our stuff side by side. So this with a loot stage of 50 on the left and a loot stage of 50 on the right, but with 2 points into Lucky Looter. Now you can start seeing quite a big difference. We get a lot more 9mm and 7.62, a hell of a lot more 7.62 on the right hand side. And as you can see, without the points in Lucky Looter, we were still getting pipe weapons, whereas on the right we have actually got a baseball bat, an iron sledgehammer as well, and we've got scrap armor over on the left, all tier 6, which is very nice. A few books on either side, and medical supplies very similar as well. So that shows that Lucky Looter is starting to make a bit of a difference at loot stage 50. Now, let's go on to loot stage 100. Right then, here we go once again. So this time I have my loot stage, not game stage, but loot stage to 100 and no points into Lucky Looter, and this time we're going to do exactly the same, but we'll put 3 points into Lucky Looter. Right, let's see what we get. Right, now this one has got me totally and utterly baffled. 762, pretty much the same, a little bit more with the other one, with Lucky Looter, and some more 9mm. But over here, without Lucky Looter, we've got 2 pump action shotguns. Yes, they're a tier 3 and a tier 4, but they're still the highest, middle tier, of pump shotgun that you can get. And there's only a Dubsy, which is a tier 6 with Lucky Looter, but I would rather the pump shotgun over the Dubsy, no matter what tier it is. So that's quite interesting. 3 treasure maps as well. I haven't had the best of luck with treasure maps, but I know a lot of people have. Armor, yeah, the armor is still better with the Lucky Looter. Some diamonds there as well, so a bit more money, and the spaghetti recipe as well, which is a good recipe to have. And you've got the tier 6 machete as well, which is also very good for harvesting up your animals. But it's starting to get quite interesting now. That's 3 points into Lucky Looter. I would have been expecting a lot more better stuff than that. Right, next one we're going to do, the final one, is going to be loot stage 200. Give that a go. Right then, here we go, nearly done. Now I did accidentally give myself slightly too much XP, so my loot stage is now 201, but I really don't think 1 point in loot stage is going to make a massive difference. Here we go, Lucky Looter is back at 0, so we're going to do 1 without anything. Then we're going to do 1 going up to level 4, and then we're going to do a bonus round where we put on the Lucky Looter goggles, Lucky Looter maxed out at 5 out of 5, and we'll do all the books as well, and just see how good Lucky Looter can be all together with every single perk in the game. Right, let's get to the looting. Right, now these two have got me even more baffled than I was before, because without Lucky Looter, we've got less ammo, admittedly, but we have actually got a tier 6 tactical assault rifle and a tier 6 pump action shotgun, which is pretty damn good going, and quite a bit of steel armor here. Again, very useful, and tier 6 knuckles here as well, the spiked knuckles. So we've got some pretty damn good stuff here. Now we are loot stage 200 admittedly, but we are also in the pine forest biome as well. And we'll talk about all the multipliers of the different biomes in a second. Now with Lucky Looter though, we did get a tier 5 and a tier 6 drone. So, and a lot more ammo. And ammo we're going to need a lot more to go through the harder POIs and to survive on a horde night up here. Right, that's got me a little bit baffled. Yes, I would like the drone, but I'd actually prefer some of the stuff without Lucky Looter. Right, let's now do one with absolutely everything max. Be the luckiest lucky man alive. Right then, here we go. We're going to make ourselves the luckiest man alive. We're going to take the Lucky Looter goggles +5, which are the highest you can get in the game. We're going to take ourselves some eye candy, which gives us a loot bonus of +5 and +10%. Take that. And we've got one of each of the Lucky Looter books here. So we're going to use every single one of those. There's the fanfare. Lucky Looter, we need to put in 2 more points here. Lucky Looter, 5 out of 5. What does that actually put our loot stage to? 285. This is the luckiest you can get. Let's see what we get. Right. Here we go then. So with a loot stage of 280 plus, that is utter garbage. Absolutely terrible. I don't know quite why anybody would need that much 9 mil. But the only good thing we've got here is a tier 6 compound crossbow. I personally love the compound crossbow, so I'd be quite happy with that, but I would not be happy that I'd invested that many points into Lucky Looter. That's 12 points altogether to get Lucky Looter 5 out of 5, and we've taken the eye candy, and we've got the goggles on, and we've read every single book in the Lucky Looter book tree, and I got some ammo, a couple of maps, some bandages, grilled meat, which you get with the first level of Master Chef. That's insane. I would have honestly expected that I would have got some of the top tier recipes that you need the canned food for, and some top level weapons, really. Yes, the compound crossbow is the highest tier, but that's it. Where's my auto shotguns? Where's my M60s? Where? Right. Okay. Let me compose myself for a second. Right, so there you have it, guys. Lucky Looter. I'm not quite sure how good Lucky Looter really is. Is it really worth the points? Obviously, there's a few other factors that we did not take into consideration, like the biomes. We all know that there's no modifiers to the forest biome. But if you go into the desert biome, there's a 1.5% added onto your loot stage plus an additional 10 points. If you go into the snow biome, there's a 2% put onto your loot stage plus a 20 point extra given to you. And then the wasteland, being the hardest biome in the game, a 2.5% increase with an additional 30 points added on at the end. So, yes, if you went into the different biomes, your loot stage would have gone up a lot faster, but we still tried that with a 285% loot stage, which is pretty damn high. Yes, you can go higher, but that's pretty insane. The other thing to think about is also the Fun Pimps have mentioned that there are different types of chests, which each come with their own loot modifier and chances of finding different things inside them. So we know if you're looking in the kitchen, say for example, and you've got your loot stage right up there, you've got a lot more chance of finding the recipes and things like that. So that's one other thing that we didn't take into consideration. We were just looking at what loot you would get at the end kind of style chests, because these reinforced chests are what you find at the end of most POIs, and that brings us on to POIs as well. The other additional points and percentages to put to your loot stage Depends on what tier POI you are inside. So obviously if you're doing a tier 1 POI, like a survivors camp or something like that, the percentage is going to be totally different to doing Dishong Tower. Now, the Fun Pimps haven't actually given us the exact percentages for the different types of POIs, so I'm not going to make a guesstimate and put them out there, but each tier of POI, obviously the higher up the tiers you go, are going to give you more of a loot stage. So there you have it, folks. Really, you can make your own decision. I personally don't think I'll be putting points into Lucky Looter straight away. Lucky Looter goggles, if I find them, I normally always put them on, especially for the end loot. But apart from that, I don't think, me personally, I'm going to be investing my points into it until I get to the point of the game where I've got too many points, because that usually does tend to happen. So for me personally, I'm going to be investing my points into Daring Adventure and Better Barter. Obviously, Daring Adventure, when you get up there in the points, you can take 2 rewards rather than 1, which is really good. And Better Barter gets us a bigger secret stash, which is always good, and a cheaper price. So they're where I'm going to be investing my points before putting them into Lucky Looter. Anyway, there you go. You guys make your own conclusions on all of this. I just wanted to give a simple little experiment and sort of show what Lucky Looter can or cannot do for you. But you can make your own mind up on how you want to play the game. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. Big thumbs up on the video as always. Please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Have a cracking day. See you later.